So here we are back with the plot to assassinate Hitler. Um, Once again, I went through the assignment, had more Allied forces in South, or guerrillas or whatever, in South France. And what else do we have? We had the assignment of some SS over to Stockholm. It's getting later in the game, no question. It doesn't really feel like the Abwehr, although they're beginning to get a pile of counters. Those counters become less effective once the coup starts. There's this certain desire to get a coup off soon, real soon. But I don't know if that's a good idea yet. Still got a couple of guys in general retirement. Maybe I can get out this turn. But largely, the problem is there's just not much willing to support it. Hitler's not terribly exposed. There's a lot of stuff surrounding him. That's one consideration. If Hitler's exposed, then it's easier to get a decent attack off on him. Right now, he's fairly well defended in the headquarters, and it's going to be tough to get a successful harassment on him that will be large enough to attack him. You can't kill him until you get at least 10 strength points, and you want significantly more than that in place. So I don't think the time is ripe yet, even though I'm beginning to get some Führer access counters that'll help start a coup. So I think I'm going to just be playing to try to increase the Abwehr's strength at this point. It's tough because it looks like there's enough force in the part of the SS, etc., to crack down and prevent much of a gain. We saw last turn, whatever we had gained the turn before got reversed there. But we'll have to hope for some sort of opportunity, I think. Well, not a lot of success here. I can't get Himmler out of my headquarters. Is one of my problems. If I could have controlled the assignment, he'd not be there, but he's kind of stuck there now unless he does something silly. He's hard to budge, which means OKW panics are going to be happening every turn unless I can get him out. I get to remove this because he's no longer neutralized. I played a double cross and we got a Nazi, who was this, Heldorf, to actually join the plot. And we also got a general over here and a general over here. Of course, the OKW is going to be a problem. And we unretire Oster and put him into play. Alright, on to the SS turn now. So that's the end of 5 turns. And that puts us to the 6th turn, which is kind of interesting because the Allies have just taken Russia, which means this general has been eliminated. Notice another elimination there. That's a Nazi in the elimination pool. He was one who had swung over to the Abwehr. And, well, they don't like seeing their own converted. They managed to get him into an interrogation cell, and it didn't seem worth, I'm not sure whether it is or not, it didn't seem worth playing an alibi card to try to improve things. It's rolling on the 4 table, ended up getting low enough. It's an SS, he's dead. 4 chits could change hands, bad move, lots and lots of general chits went over. But where do you want to spend your chits is kind of the question. Probably should have left him in play. You probably should have tried to defend him, but I have a hard time making those kind of decisions. Anyway, we have Casablanca has fallen. You gotta keep an eye on that kind of thing. But yeah, we can see where the SS has just swept down, and they've got kind of this cordon here now. Obviously, travel chits and the like, not that the Abwehr have any, can be used to get people out. Here in Eastern Europe, we got to get out of there. Abandon whoever this is. Witzelben. But yeah, it's the situation where time's running out. The Abwehr have to make a move at some point, but it's looking bleaker and bleaker. They did get a couple of their guys back out of here, though. But then again, so did the SS. And the prospects of actually hitting Hitler look really, really slim right now with the amount of force that's placed here. Last turn, it didn't look that bad in terms of that. Oh, I forgot the OKW. But their panic. Another 4. All right, 4 generals. What do we take? He's good. Well, I'm not going to get Hitler easily, so that's 1. But now it gets tough. 2, I'll abandon him. 3. And I guess 4. And there's almost no success coming from all of this. All right, on to another turn then. So here we are at the start of the 6th turn, and Russia's fallen, along with Casablanca, as we just handled. The assignment table created something in Paris, Allied resistance, and also it was sending a couple Abwehr to Russia. Well, they can't go there because Russia's closed. They don't roll again or anything. It's just Russia. There's no assignment as Germany gets the extent gets smaller. Reassignments happen less and less. They got a big draw. I think 13 chits. So they once again have a huge pile of pieces there. These chits are a real problem in terms of keeping track of what you can do. Maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal in a 2-player game, but I can still imagine. Now, obviously, if they were all flipped over, it would be horrible. There's a suggestion to put a piece of paper over it, which would help somewhat, or keep them behind a screen or something like that, where you can sort them and look at them and think about them. But, yeah, it is not... I suspect this is perhaps one of the reasons why the game tends to get a poor rating. If people are trying to cope with these chits without a good system, there's some others, for example, these covered up chits are another problem with the game. I'll talk about that more in the review section. Well, it's a hard decision at this point. I've just hit the status phase and finished that for the Abwehr. Most of the Abwehr leaders, well, everyone who's available and still alive is in play and able to act in a coup. I've also got this guy Nib, a Nazi who's on their side, as well as a handful of generals, none of which are all that good. But here's the thing, on a roll higher than a 3, I'm going to lose all of my OKW people. I would have liked to have gotten someone more impressive, especially someone like Stauffenberg. However, I kind of aimed for the wrong person going down here. This guy wasn't bad, but isn't the best. However, I had a better chance at him. There's a lot of SS and Nazis guarding the Hitler approaches, but I think I have to take a shot at going for the coup, and to do so 1, 2, 3, 4 Führer access, 5 Führer access. The coup is going to happen. It's just a question of how good a start I get on it. It's a 9. I'm going to get to move 2 Abwehr. No, first number is movement penalty for harassment. Second number is the differential bonus. There's going to be a +5 to any harassments. And then the third number is the Abwehr movement bonus. So I'm going to get 3 free units to move at this point, and then we enter the normal coup phases. The coup phases are a little different from everything else. Now this is going to be really a pain in terms of tracking which unit is doing what, but each just flipped over to the coup turn. We'll be going over there. Each player gets to move 1 unit at a time and do things with that 1 unit's movement allowance. Once all units have moved, the coup turn is done and we go forward to the next coup turn after a status adjustment phase. That's gonna be painful. You have to tilt counters everywhere, and it's this alternating actions, and I can see where that would be very, very frustrating to people. All right, well, let's hit it and see what starts to come from it. I don't have a lot of hope for this, but I think it's the best shot that the Abwehr have.